What up, YouTube? What up, YouTube? We're back again, Rich Life. And as you can see, we only working with a few ingredients today. Make it real simple. If you don't notice, we'll do some spring rolls. But we're gonna put a little twist on it as we like to do over here at Rich Life. Alright, so let's get right into it. So what we have here today is we're gonna make some spring rolls, but we're gonna do it like a Philly steak. So of course we've got our steak all chopped up. We've got our onions, we've got our peppers, got our provolone, and of course the star of the show, spring rolls. So basically what you want to do is you want to cook this down, brown it, throw in your onions, your peppers. Once that gets done, then you're going to mix it all up. Before it gets done, actually, mix these two up. Then right towards the end, add your cheese, just like a Philly steak style. Mix it in there real good. Then we're going to take it off the heat, and then we're going to roll it in the spring rolls. Then we're going to drop those in some grease, fry them. It's going to be real good. Let's get to it. All right, as always, you want to go ahead and get your pan good and hot. You know, we like to prep over here, so everything's already good to go. You need butter or oil. You really don't need oil. We're dealing with steak here, so I don't know, butter or maybe some light oil, just to kind of give it that nice good crust on the outside, but still tender on the inside. Once your pan's good and hot, you're gonna go ahead and add your steak. Once your steak's all added, you kind of just want to move it around a little bit, kind of like you do with ground beef. You don't want clumps of steak. Kind of want them to cook separately a little bit. And then once they come up to temperature and start separating into little pieces, then you can go ahead and add your seasoning. And that way your seasoning sticks to your meat and not just fall off in the pan. Of course, you're going to go in with some salt. Black peppercorns. Running low. I think for Philly, yeah, we'll go ahead and add some garlic in there. We call that the Trinity: salt, pepper, and garlic. Secret weapon: onion powder. I'm gonna let that cook down for a couple seconds. And we'll go ahead and give that a stir. Let that seasoning get all over everywhere. Now it's good and brown. We'll go ahead and add our onions. Peppers. We'll give those a quick stir. Alright, so now, yep, that's it. That is it. Oh man, that smells good. So now, here's where you want to add your cheese at. Go ahead and take that provolone out. Get a nice even surface. And we're just gonna lay it up there. There we go. There we go. We'll do one more for good measure. Now you kind of want this to just sit and melt a little bit. You can actually cover this with something just to kind of help the cheese melt faster, but if you got a hot pan, as you can see, the cheese is melting pretty fast, so this shouldn't take long. And then just like that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold this in, fold it in like such. And on this side, do the same thing, fold it in. Cheesy goodness, cheesy goodness. Then we're gonna come back one more time. Provolone. And one more like so. Alright, back to the fold. It's another good one. There we go. Into the fold, into the fold. Philly steak's done. So next, after you take your steak off, you want to take your rice paper, dip it in some water, a couple of seconds, and then you want to pull it out, damp it a little bit. And lay it down. Then you kind of just want to put your filling right around here, because you're going to fold it this way, then fold it out. So we'll take a little steak, Philly steak that is. Just spread it out like that, not too much. And you want to take your end, come in, and then fold. Grab your sides, bring those in. You want to make sure this is nice and tight, but this paper is super thin, so you got to be extra careful with it. And as you roll, you kind of want to tuck it, but don't pull too hard, because you will break this paper. And then just gently roll it up, close your ends off, and now you've got a Philly steak spring roll. Nice. You repeat this process till you're done, then you throw them in the deep fryer. Once you get them all wrapped up, then you want to lay them out like this. Don't have them touching. This rice paper is super sensitive, super thin, super sticky. So space them out like this, let them cool, maybe put them in the fridge for about 10 minutes while your oil's heating up. And then once the oil's ready to go, then you'll just dip these in. A couple at a time. Again, they stick together, then the paper's gonna rip. So in order to do it right, you gotta take it step by step. So lace them out like this, cool them for a little bit while the oil's getting ready, and then drop them in there few by few at a time, maybe 2 or 3. Right now your grease is nice and hot. Then what you want to do is take your chilled spring rolls, one at a time and just slowly drop them in there. You hear something like that. I'm only gonna add a few because, again, I don't want them to roll around and start sticking to each other. If they start sticking, then as you can see, we got some bubbles here, and it's gonna be no bueno. Those cook down, get nice and brown, and we'll pull them out, drain them, and we're good to go. And that is how you Philly steak egg rolls, spring rolls. Enjoy.